Welcome to Bite at a Time Books, where we read you your favorite classics one bite at a time. My name is Bree Carlile, and I love to read and wanted to share my passion with listeners like you. You can sign up for our newsletter at biteatatimebooks.com. You'll also find our new t-shirts in the shop, including podcast shirts and quote shirts from your favorite classic novels. Be sure to follow my show on your favorite podcast platform so you get all the new episodes. We're part of the Bite at a Time Books Productions Network. If you'd also like to hear what inspired your favorite classic author to write their novels, and what was going on in the world at the time, check out the Bite at a Time Books Behind the Story podcast, wherever you listen to podcasts. Today we'll be continuing Les Miserables by Victor Hugo. Book 9th, Supreme Shadow, Supreme Dawn. Chapter 1. Pity for the unhappy, but indulgence for the happy. It is a terrible thing to be happy. How content one is. How all-sufficient one finds it. How, being in possession of the false object of life, happiness, one forgets the true object, duty. Let us say, however, that the reader would do wrong were he to blame Marius. Marius, as we have explained, before his marriage, had put no questions to Monsieur Fauchelevert, and since that time he had feared to put any to Jean Valjean. He had regretted the promise into which he had allowed himself to be drawn. He had often said to himself that he had done wrong in making that concession to despair. He had confined himself to gradually estranging Jean Valjean from his house, and to effacing him as much as possible from Cosette's mind. He had, in a manner, always placed himself between Cosette and Jean Valjean, sure that in this way she would not perceive nor think of the latter. It was more than effacement. It was an eclipse. Marius did what he considered necessary and just. He thought that he had serious reasons which the reader has already seen, and others which will be seen later on, for getting rid of Jean Valjean without harshness but without weakness. Chance having ordained that he should encounter, in a case which he had argued, a former employee of the Lafitte establishment, he had acquired mysterious information without seeking it, which he had not been able, it is true, to probe out of respect for the secret which he had promised to guard, and out of consideration for Jean Valjean's perilous position. He believed at that moment that he had a grave duty to perform, the restitution of the 600,000 francs to someone whom he sought with all possible discretion. In the meanwhile, he abstained from touching that money. As for Cosette, she had not been initiated into any of these secrets, but it would be harsh to condemn her also. There existed between Marius and her all-powerful magnetism which caused her to do instinctively and almost mechanically what Marius wished. She was conscious of Marius's will in the direction of Monsieur John. She conformed to it. Her husband had not been obliged to say anything to her. She yielded to the vague but clear pressure of his tacit intentions, and obeyed blindly. Her obedience in this instance consisted in not remembering what Marius forgot. She was not obliged to make any effort to accomplish this, without her knowing why herself, and without his having any cause to accuse her of it. Her soul had become so wholly her husband's, that that which was shrouded in gloom in Marius's mind became overcast in hers. Let us not go too far, however, in what concerned Jean Valjean. This forgetfulness and obliteration were merely superficial. She was rather heedless than forgetful. At bottom, she was sincerely attached to the man whom she had so long called her father, but she loved her husband still more dearly. This was what had somewhat disturbed the balance of her heart, which leaned to one side only. It sometimes happened that Cosette spoke of Jean Valjean and expressed her surprise. Then Marius calmed her. He is absent, I think. Did not he say that he was setting out on a journey? That is true, thought Cosette. He had a habit of disappearing in this fashion, but not for so long. 2 or 3 times she dispatched Nicolette to inquire in the Rue de l'Homme Arme whether Monsieur John had returned from his journey. Jean Valjean caused the answer no to be given. Cosette asked nothing more, since she had but one need on earth, Marius. Let us also say that on their side, Cosette and Marius had also been absent. They had been to Vernon. Marius had taken Cosette to his father's grave. Marius gradually won Cosette away from Jean Valjean. Cosette allowed it. Moreover, that which is called, far too harshly in certain cases, the ingratitude of children, is not always a thing so deserving of reproach as it is supposed. It is the ingratitude of nature. Nature, as we have elsewhere said, looks before her. Nature divides living beings into those who are arriving and those who are departing. Those who are departing are turned towards the shadows, those who are arriving towards the light. Hence a gulf, which is fatal on the part of the old, and involuntary on the part of the young. This breach, at first insensible, increases slowly, like all separations of branches. The boughs, without becoming detached from the trunk, grow away from it. It is no fault of theirs. Youth goes where there is joy, festivals, vivid lights, love. Old age goes towards the end. They do not lose sight of each other, but there is no longer a close connection. Young people feel the cooling off of life. Old people, that of the tomb. Let us not blame these poor children. Thank you for joining Bite at a Time Books today, while we read a bite of one of your favorite classics. Again, my name is Bree Carlile, and I hope you come back tomorrow for the next bite of Les Miserables. Don't forget, you can sign up for our newsletter at biteatatimebooks.com. And while you're there, check out our t-shirt shop. You can look in the show notes or on our website, biteatatimebooks.com, for the rest of the links for our show. We'd love to hear from you on social media. You can find us everywhere at Bite at a Time Books.